What's going on, everybody? This is episode lucky number 7 of 10's Hip Hop Unfiltered. I'm the host, Zoe. Got a couple of homies with me. We got my boy Henny the God, got Kennawayne, and then we have special guests with us today, DJ, man. What's going on with y'all, fellas?
What's up with y'all?
Here, living.
Man, DJ, as the special guest, we always try to let you have a little intro, kind of, tell the people a little bit about yourself, man.
I go by Dolce. ELS, creative director, and shit, it's
words already.
I'm saying I'm trying to think. I don't want to sound like you feel me? But it's a lot.
On them niggas.
It's a lot of shit.
Hit it on them one time.
It's a lot of shit that I'm into. It's like I'm a brand ambassador for a lot of brands. I do a little modeling on the side. I'm trying to get a little better with my poses and all that shit. Y'all might see me in a Vogue.
There we go.
Somewhere down the line.
Is that your apparel right there that you have on right there?
No, this isn't. This is one of the brands that I'm a brand ambassador for.
Okay.
Cool. This is actually my brother's brand. So the website's going to be up. Crew Fresh Clothing. That's another brand. That's my other brother. And he has a storefront that he's working on. He's about to open that up soon. We're going to have a grand opening. I'm not sure when, but it's coming along super fast. And it's like a legit storefront. It's going to be real dope. So that's something that we're looking forward to. But, it's a lot of stuff that we dibbling and dabbling in, Disney.
Entrepreneur.
You feel me? All types of things. I'm just trying to be great out here.
Boy, Dolce got his hands in everything. But nah, man, anybody who's out there listening, make sure y'all support. We'll have some of the links up to, anything that they do have up and running right now. We'll have it in the description. And y'all make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe the video as well. That way you'll get, the notifications anytime we drop new content on the channel. And there's going to be a lot more coming out other than the podcast. We'll have different things that we're doing. But again, support everything. We got a lot of entrepreneurs that, guests on the pod, so we always want to support, especially some black-owned businesses as well.
Super dope shit.
And
we just entrepreneur Negroes.
Yes,
for real. But man, like we always do at this time, we always like to get into the throwback album for the week. Today, at my special request, we did Rich Gang, the Tour Part 1. So for any of you who are unfamiliar, that was 2014, Rich Homie Quan, Young Thug, one of my favorite mixtapes all time.
Don't forget Birdman.
The little Birdman.
Probably the most far on the whole shit. Hey, Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan gotta be one of the top duos that I have seen. Man. And they don't get the credit that they deserve. I feel like it's probably Rich Homie. Like people say he fell off.
He dragging it down, yeah.
But man, y'all gotta give that duo the respect that it deserves. And that in that album, I feel like that's still in constant rotation for me. Like, it's a lot of bangers on there that like I still appreciate. It's not something that like I'm playing every day. Like it's so much music nowadays. But that's something that's definitely is. I feel like Rich Homie probably is like putting that anchor down, so they're not giving it the respect that it deserves. But
that's a fact, man. It's a shame that it's not on DSP. So I mean, you can't get it on Spotify, Apple Music, or anything right now. And I think anybody who's not a big music head, it might have been an album that maybe they kind of overlooked and shit. Because it's one that I almost missed me at the time, but I'm happy that I do know about it, because I mean it's one of the greatest albums, or one of the greatest duo mixtapes, like you were saying, I think ever. And I would have loved to have seen what
at the time, like it didn't hit you like right away, like when you heard that shit. It wasn't like, oh shit.
No, I loved it. I loved it from the moment that I heard it. I just didn't expect that level of greatness, to be honest with you, because at the time I wasn't huge on Thug. That was kind of when I was starting to turn my opinion on Thug, kind of before Barter 6 and shit like that.
Yeah, that's really when he started getting big time. When that shit dropped. That's when they really put him on.
And it's just, I didn't think it was going to click on that type of level, where this wasn't, most Rich Homie was doing his own thing, but
good classic.
Yeah, just the level of quality that mixtape put out, man, was surprising to me at the time.
To this day.
Yeah. Kennawayne, man, how'd you feel about the Rich Gang the Tour?
Man, I really fucked with it. Like you kind of said, like I really wasn't into Young Thug at that time. I was like, man, I liked Richie Homie more than Young Thug, so he's actually the reason I peeped the mixtape. But I fucked with it, bro. War Ready, Beat It Up. That's the female song.
Shit, even the intro, Marie, man. Javinci, my toes.
Everybody was I'm a ride. If you from the hood and you haven't heard I'm a ride, you ain't from the hood. Like everybody fuck with that song.
Flavor.
Crips, nigga.
You could name almost every song on here, honestly, dog. Flavor.
Yeah.
Hey Doc, tell them. And the thing is, shit, they really didn't even have any features throughout the whole. It was just mainly Rich Homie.
Yeah, it was them too, and I remember like listening to it in the first. I went into it like, all right, it's gonna be all right. And I was like, damn, banger after banger after banger after banger. I was like, fuck. So even this day, like I listen to a lot of them still. Now I don't put it in straight rotation all the time, but if the song come on, I'm playing it.
It ain't getting skipped. Nope.
Max volume, right.
This is one of those tapes though. When I do play it, I end up playing the whole thing. If I start at one, I'm gonna just let.
You gonna go to the other ones?
When you hear as soon as I hear that G1, that Javinci, man.
But it also, like you said, it makes it hard to listen to it because it's not on the streaming platforms.
So yeah, man. I use that my mixtape.
Access to it. Yeah, you feel me? You gotta know how to, and like people once they figure out like, oh shit, it's not on the platforms that I listen to, they probably like, oh fuck it.
Yeah. And even looking on Twitter, like I didn't realize how many other people had as much appreciation for the mixtape as I did, because again, it wasn't one that got a lot of promo since it wasn't like an official release. So I kind of thought I was on the shit and wasn't nobody else really on it. And it seems like a lot of people have mad love.
I think it was a hood classic. That's how I'm gonna say it. Not like a in general classic.
Exactly.
It's one of them like boozy, Webby type albums, Gucci mixtapes. The hood fucked with it, and everybody from the hood know.
Exactly.
But mainstream, they probably weren't on it. So I think that's what it is.
You go to the after hours and they play that, every nigga singing.
You feel me?
Guarantee. You know what I'm saying?
Every.
The main shame is just that they didn't get to make more music together. You know, it's a shame that they've had to kind of rift and shit like that, because I was looking forward to the next project, because I honestly think, obviously they're making different music than like, an Outkast or something like that. But I think they could have gotten to that level of quality music as Outkast. You know what I mean? Obviously Outkast, super lyrical.
Yeah.
But I still think they could have kind of matched that, at least the quality output. Just judging by that was just the first little sample. You know what I mean? And you can definitely feel a lot of that Atlanta influence in it. Now, one thing I do also want to mention to a lot of people out there, Rich Homie's still making a lot of good music out there. He's not, he doesn't have the same platform as Thug.
He took a break
on the core.
He's still releasing a lot of shit. He just doesn't have that label power behind him like he once did. But he's still putting out a lot of good shit. Riches in Spirit was a recent album he had.
I was about to say last year he dropped that whole album on us.
Secretly.
Out of nowhere. Yeah, out of nowhere. Like the nigga came out of retirement and said, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we know what Thug's doing. We already know Thug's just shit. The last album he just dropped was his most successful one. I don't know that it was his best, but it was his most successful album to date. I think he moved like 150 first week.
I think he's in everything right now, man.
Yeah, and then he has all them artists under him too.
Yeah,
and then right there. Like he dropped last week he dropped the one with the Thomas Rhett and Diplo, nigga. What? But I mean, it hit, but this nigga's everywhere right now. So
yeah,
that's an odd pair right there, though.
Super.
In my opinion, it worked out.
Thug needs that focus though. He's one of them type of artists that
because he started dabbling around with that.
Yeah, he does a lot of experiment, and I think it's nice when you get to see him focus like on this last album he had, or on like a Rich Gang the Tour Part 1 or Barty 6.
Because when he just straight about himself.
He be putting out all types of singing shit.
I think he calls his music experimental music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And some of the things he does with his voice.
Yeah.
For real. A lot of things he does with his voice is almost like an instrument in itself too. Some of the melodies and shit that he can hit.
It's crazy.
Exactly, dog. And I mean, that's probably one of the things that why at first I wasn't really as, on him. I kind of thought it was a little bit weird. And then you kind of got to adjust to what he's doing,
Yeah. The dress threw me all the way off. I ain't gonna lie.
Well,
Hey,
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
But that album smacked though. But yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't fucking with it.
I said, hold up, shit.
He was making it hard on himself. I'm not gonna lie.
Like I was like, hold on, am I supposed to like? It was hard to push play. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But when the music's fire, it's just like.
I said, I know this nigga ain't out here like Chun-Li right now.
I know it. With the ruffles on the skirt, I was like, okay, homie, tripping. Then Barter 6, he was like naked on Barter 6. I'm like, but homie's just a troll, man. He be out here, he's really trolling, and especially when you hear him talk in some of these interviews too. You're like, oh, he's actually intelligent and like has.
Hell, most of these rappers are very intelligent. Shit.
Yeah, and it seems like he's shooting to the top with, again, a name I mentioned before. Leor Cohen was heavy in his early career with 300 ENT and kind of helped pave that early way because Thug and Rich Homie were some of the artists that were sometimes putting out like too much music where they just had shit floating out left and right and didn't, when there's so much music out there, it's hard for your fans to really get that proper appreciation to focus on that one body of work. But one of the things I would think we would mention or kind of transition into based on just even their relationship. We know it's kind of gone down the drain now. They had a little bit of beef. Hasn't been too much on wax, but they've both spoken on it individually, just kind of about the deterioration of their relationship. We've seen a lot of other kind of rap beef throughout the years too. Obviously, 50's had a lot of beef. We see 6ix9ine, what it's kind of devolved into with like the more internet type back and forth shit where it's not really on wax at all. It's almost all on social media. We've seen Boosie and Webby. What are y'all's thoughts on like, older rap beef and current rap beef? Do you find it entertaining? What do you think it does for the music, and just in general?
Man, I think it's super entertaining because every time somebody wants to see some drama, it's like watching TV. Females be watching Love and Hip Hop and shit like that. You want to hear that beef. You want to see that beef, and I think it elevates the music.
Huh? I'm playing.
He got him.
Nah. I was like, shit, what'd I say? But it does elevate the music, man. Shit, back with Ice Cube was beefing with NWA. Fuck, Pac and Biggie. There's some bangers that came out of that. Shit, Meek Mill and fucking Drake. Drake and Shit.
Exactly.
Push it.
No, push it. Yeah.
I didn't even talk about
this
nigga said, exactly.
Hey, y'all act like y'all remember.
Nobody said the Jay-Z and Nas.
The Jay-Z and Nas.
I was gonna get on that.
I still got a couple in the reserve still, so I'm.
But yeah, I used to hate Jay-Z because I was on Nas, man. I used to just completely hate him. And when Nas dropped Ether, it was over.
Yeah,
that's my favorite. Ice Cube has my second favorite diss rap, but Ether was always gonna be number one.
But that's the days of personal beef. When you put it on wax, it's like
shit. Pusha called out
like when it's real beef.
Yeah, that's real shit. Because you notice, like, even when you think about like
Tupac went into
Drake,
Mobb Deep.
Well, and I'm saying, like, even when I think about like the Drake Meek Mill, he didn't really call Meek Mill by name. You just knew that's who.
You knew who it was, but that
he didn't get like grimy.
That shit was, nigga, I'm here.
Cut through.
Yeah, shit. Even Kendrick Lamar and Drake, they got the most fucking subconscious, no saying name beef ever. I'm like, we all know. Just one of y'all say the motherfucking name, like.
They be crucial with that whole sneaking it in there.
I kind of don't even want either one of them to jump off the porch on that though.
Yeah,
it's kind of entertaining.
I want them motherfuckers to. I want it to get popping. I instigate that shit.
It's cool when when you see them just taking the smoothest shots without saying shit like
that shit fire.
I don't think like if they actually come out like, oh, Kendrick, you a bitch, Drake, you a bitch, it's gonna be like,
It's I
but
think
then it's
more
also
on
those two
competition
niggas.
shit. It's really on more some competition shit. Like, that nigga
both have huge fan base.
Trying to be the GOAT. He trying to be the GOAT. They trying to be that.
They both
go
in their own right, but
they trying to be that number one for real.
There's only room for one though.
Exactly.
How would y'all even see a beef with the two of them going?
You can't.
It's gonna be crazy because Drake got that social media behind him.
But Drake's also a slept on. Like people
His
sleep on his bars,
nasty.
man.
Oh no.
People sleep on Drake's bars. He makes
Kendrick though, like Kendrick.
Yeah,
Kendrick.
That's poet spoken word.
On Kendrick.
Because Kendrick has TDE and them niggas all got the lyrics.
All of them.
That's the thing.
Oh boy, Jay.
Like it.
All of them.
Shit, Reason, Ab Soul.
Yeah, I like Drake enough to not want him to even do that.
Isaiah.
Yeah, like it's like them niggas got he got the lyrical assassins behind him. It's almost like Eminem with Royce the 5'9". Like you gotta choose your battles. Yeah. Now, but Drake has the whole industry, but who wants to really go against realistically against TDE? Like,
but here's my thing though with that industry thing, and that's a perfect point because when you're going against like a Pusha T or a Meek Mill at the time, because Meek's raised in status since then, you having the industry on your side is a good thing. But Kendrick's a top dog too, so it's not gonna really outweigh the same way he did.
And the thing about Kendrick, not only does he have TDE, but he got West Coast. That means he got Snoop, he got Ice Cube. So it's like I don't think Drake. I don't think Drake really wants to go against that because the niggas he got sing like Party Next Door, them niggas, what are you gonna sing a lyric?
I think Drake alone has that firepower.
He does. He
do.
Just by himself. And I feel like that like says something right there.
Nasty, yeah. If they ever really started trying to go at it,
I don't know who like.
I can't call it. I ain't gonna lie.
That I'll be torn.
I think J. Cole would stay out of it, even though J. Cole is Kendrick's friend. I just don't think he's that.
Oh no.
Even though he did go, even though he brought it up with the new age niggas and some subtle shots of Kanye.
I'm kind of like DJ, man. So. I kind of just like seeing the subs back and forth in the albums and shit like that because it's entertaining. But I also think there's some corporate shit that you got to really tie into it where no matter what happens, if one of them did decide to go ahead and jump off, but you might be cutting yourself off a major fan base because, Drake,
gonna pick sides,
might be cutting himself off, and then Kendrick is cutting himself off from a huge fan base too. So it's kind of one of those things where it's better going tit for tat, shit like that, and not really going too much further than that. Because I think ultimately they respect each other's work.
The speculation is really cool.
I mean,
that's facts.
Kendrick was on Buried Alive, so I mean they worked together.
You seen how he did Big Sean on his own song, so
yeah.
We're not gonna get into that.
For real. But I mean, what DJ, you think it helps the music, hurts the music? What do you feel like it kind of just does just strictly for the music?
Shit, controversy sells. So any type of issue, any type of beef, any type of, like that's going to sell and that's going to like get the people, the eyes on you. So I feel like it helps in that sense. Like me personally, I can't picture like me like ever like beefing with somebody. But then it's like if the money like controversy sells, like if I like know like damn I can get a check off this shit, like I'll probably drag that shit out. And I'm pretty sure like that's what they do. And then it's like I feel like it's a power trip, and it's cool to see that power trip within rappers and shit. It's like all right, like. Who's really who? Like you feel like you that nigga. You feel like you that nigga. Like who is really it? Like you feel me? I want to see it. I want to.
It's like throw these hands, man.
That's a sport for them niggas.
In some type of way, like shit. Like
that's my thing.
I think it elevates this competition because I get on that mic if I'm gonna be talking about one of the top niggas because no one cares about if Drake talks about fuck Isaiah Rashad. Let's just say,
but that's
how bad, but no one would care.
Some shit like that. That would be real though. That's like that would be something personal to like.
Yeah. But niggas ain't gonna care about that. But you go against the top nigga, you got to get the top bars on that mic because he gonna come with it.
Well, I think there's also one other layer to it though, because
let's say Super Bowl shit.
Let's say I am Drake. This is where it sucks because of the corporate game. So like us, we're out here. You kind of want to see the sport, the blood sport. Whereas when you think about it from a commercial standpoint, you say, I'm Drake. If I respond to anybody, I'm giving them a bigger platform than they have. And sometimes he wants to respond, but it's like, man, I ain't even finna give this dude the time of day because that's really because like DJ said, that's boosting you up too of the controversy sales. Pusha sold more records off it. Let's not be mistaken off that whole shit. It's not that Push wasn't a god level MC already, but to the mainstream, he was.
A lot of people ain't know that nigga until then. Yeah, that's like with Sauce Walker and Future. Like Future ain't been trying to reply to what that nigga been saying, and he been Sauce been killing this nigga. Like
he been going off on everybody.
But that nigga's just like, I ain't got to reply. That's the type of shit he on, basically.
It's levels to the shit. It's levels. Yeah. He's not, as much as we know Sauce Walker, he's pretty much unknown to the mainstream. So it's kind of like, thugs like, why would I mention him? Future is like, Future kind of stays out of the beef shit anyway.
Future in his bag right now, bro. So that's he
on
crazy.
That, what are y'all's favorite what's y'all's favorite rap diss all time?
Man,
I already said Ether.
Who want to go first?
Yeah, I already said Ether.
If he said Ether, let me try to. I'm
trying to think of a different one because
Ether of a different one that's like yo.
Ether is
just the way it came on.
Next,
it came on just the way it came on. It was like, what the fuck? Like, hold on, what'd he say? Like, let me listen to this shit again.
That nigga started this shit. Fuck Jay-Z. It wasn't subtle. That nigga started the track. Fuck Jay-Z.
Like he said, fuck dick.
Ether was something else. Like,
it wasn't no questioning who he was talking about. That nigga started the track. The only thing that came before Jay-Z's name was fuck.
Hey, but people sleep though. Takeover was nice too. It wasn't Ether, but it was a nice little back and forth. I think it was closer than people give, but I think.
No, he did come with a good rebuttal. Yeah, it's just that Ether was just something.
I feel like it was unexpected for everybody. It just hit everybody so left field. I was young as hell, and I knew every fucking bar to that bitch, singing that hoe, playing that hoe every day. And I love Jay-Z. Like, you feel me? But I was saying fuck Jay-Z. Like, you feel me? Like, that shit had me mad at whatever they had going on. So I gotta
go with it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw another hat in the ring. I'm gonna say just for the sake of it, I'm gonna say hit him up.
You about to say Gucci?
Hey, hit him up.
That's why I fucked your bitch.
Yeah, boy, it don't get more personal than that.
That nigga said, sickle cell happened, motherfuckers. What?
Like, goddamn, yeah.
And you bring up sickle cell, beef.
I will say the hit 'em up track had another element to it because with Nas and Jay-Z, they're both from New York. They're both dope, but hit 'em up was East Coast versus West Coast.
East and West. Yeah,
so I will say I'll give them that in that sense because even No Vaseline was strictly West Coast and Ether was strictly East Coast, but there was a whole element to that because niggas on the East Coast was bumping one, West Coast niggas in Texas chose. Like I'm with these niggas, but I'll give it that element. But I'm still gonna stick with Ether.
I wasn't like old enough to like. I don't even think shit. I wasn't old enough to even understand that Biggie and Pac
shit. Yeah,
you feel me? But like going back looking at like the shit was so disrespectful and it's
that
like
damn, crazy,
like
nigga.
You feel me? Like that type of shit like brings you some type of life like when it comes to music and shit. It's like damn, like this is real feeling like whatever he's saying right now. So it's like
that's some shit where you like I gotta pull up on this nigga. Like
that's borderline.
That nigga was saying on the track. You like I gotta pull up on this nigga.
It's borderline uncomfortable. I was gonna say also like I think I like the rap beef as long as it kind of stays on wax. I don't want to see nobody get hurt, but you think about like recently even with like Dolph and shit like that where it's kind of it came outside the shit
100 shots
in the music, 100 shots and shit like that. But then it gets kind of real when you get pulled up on and obviously we kind of see what the bad end of some of the rap beef shit can be, even though it's for
I'll say like I don't want to see niggas die and shit. Like I want to see a competitive competition talking shit like about somebody on a mic, right? Like it's almost like when comedians talk shit and back and forth, or like we talk shit. Like I'm not trying to see niggas die. I mean I get it. Them niggas is 100% real. If they pulling up on you,
gonna happen.
Nah, I want niggas to die. No.
Nigga, Lil Wayne. That's what
this nigga went from Black Lives Matter to I want to see niggas die.
Nah, but you're right, bro.
Lil Wayne tour bus gotta live a nigga thug.
Hey,
yeah, all about that.
Yeah,
man.
I'm saying niggas.
Shit,
the
game and 50. Them niggas was really
actually
busting
died in that shit. Yeah.
Ja Rule and 50.
There was debts in that shit.
Ja Rule and 50 is one of the most.
Did somebody get stabbed in that one or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the studio, the niggas pulled up on niggas and shit.
But the 50 and Ja Rule beef though, that has some shit stemming from outside shit first, and then it leaked into the music.
That was like some real New York shit, and then
Shit, you even had Gucci and Waka.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. That one hurt. I was gonna bring that up.
Sad.
I was waiting.
That was sad.
I was mad about that one. Gucci was going through some shit. That nigga was talking on. Nigga sucked my dick. That nigga was going off on Twitter.
Yeah.
A lot of these beefs come from outside the music though, and then they just kind of trickle into our site and shit like that, where then we kind of get some of the entertainment, but the shit really ain't there for strictly your entertainment anyway.
I'll tell you the worst beef.
Gucci and
J. Cole versus Lil
Diggy
Pump.
Simmons.
Lil Pump. Oh my God. Diggy Simmons.
That was the worst.
I thought you was about to say Diggy Simmons.
They had to beef.
That interview.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga from the Spurs. That's
he gave Diggy a bar. He gave Diggy a bar, and Diggy didn't
low key, Machine Gun Kelly had a nice little diss against Eminem. People slept on it a little bit.
No, that wasn't low key. I heard that.
I was like, just because he Eminem don't mean he untouchable. He had nice little bars.
He did.
But
that was some white on white crime though. That's why.
Yeah.
Plus, we know you rock for MGK.
I do, but I'm just saying, like, I keep it 100. Like, if the nigga got beat, he got beat. But I was just like,
what made it worse was that after that shit happened, this nigga ended up on Bird Box. I said, oh no, niggas was like, this nigga sent this nigga to the movies. I was like, oh damn,
yeah.
Like,
and
damn,
then he died in that bitch.
Let the man get his acting on. But yeah, man. Today, I mean, we got a couple of different albums to kind of choose from. Two of the artists are actually Flatbush natives. So just kind of before we even delve into that, the album reviews, just on that topic of kind of like the regional rap, once upon a time, you could really hear the sound of an album, or even just the sound of music, based on region. So you knew when you heard a certain type of beat, it was Southern music. You knew it was West Coast, it was East Coast, and it was very easy to kind of distinguish between the different types. Now, everything's kind of homogenized with the internet, where you can kind of borrow from here and there, and you can see the music or hear the music a lot quicker. And it's not, there's not so much distance apart. Yeah, there's still the physical distance, but the internet kind of breaks a lot of those barriers down. Do y'all miss the days of the regional sounds in rap? Do you think it's better now that, everywhere kind of has, similar sounds or borrows from each other? Hen Dog, man, what do you feel about that, bro?
Honestly, I fuck with it. I'm not gonna lie. It makes for more creativity with the shit. Cause some shit you be too plain. Like some people just try to use that one style and it don't be for them. So they be needing that little extra. Like, oh, let me get a little touch to the south on this, or let me get some East Coast type vibes on this shit, or some drill on it. Let me add a little this. Like, some niggas are thriving in that shit. So I fuck with the whole mixing and collabing with the cultures and shit. As far as South, West Coast, different type shit. So I really don't see a problem unless you trash. Then I'm like, hey, nigga, you need to get a feature of a nigga from that other genre and then throw him on there with you. Like, don't try to dabble in that. Yeah, that's all I feel about it. Like, if you can't fuck with it, you can't ride on that beat to it, just get a nigga that can and throw him on your shit. That way it's more diverse and you get a whole nother fan base with you.
No, fact. Dolce, man, how you feel about the regional rap shit? I know, you're old enough to know too, just, kind of having them sounds and shit and recognizing, just, as soon as the music kind of comes on.
I say it's cool to dib and dab and grab what you like from other cultures and other parts of music and incorporate it in your own. But I just feel it's where you need to draw. There's a certain point where you have to draw a line, because this is my opinion, I feel like a lot of everybody else is pulling from the South and Texas culture and stuff, but people from Texas, we can't go make a Pop Smoke type song. Like, you know, like, but anybody from New York could make a, you feel me, Texas type songs.
Yeah. Hey, ASAP Rocky, like, man. They
exactly
brought the shit.
Exactly. So it's like
ASAP, Drake.
Like I appreciate
coming in and just selling that shit.
November 5th.
I appreciate when you can dip and dabble and like incorporate it in your own, but it's like it's kind of not the same for like people down south. We can't just dib and dab on whatever we like. It's like we got to go with like really what we know and shit. So it's just it's weird. So it's like I'm torn from that aspect of it. Just knowing like I'm from the south, like I can't go.
That rap. Southern shit just different. That's what different.
I can't go rap like I'm from Cali. I can't rap like I'm
everybody
from
fuck with it though.
I can't rap like I'm from but it's like, you feel me? So it's cool to see other people like dipping and dabbing, but it's not the same for everybody. Not everybody can do it. When it comes to rap, if you're doing music and like singing other stuff, like you could dip from every culture you want to, but when it comes to rap, it's just different for people in the South. Like in our culture, like everybody else can plug in our sound, but we can't just plug everybody else's sound in.
Yeah, I think that's mad interesting that you say that, because it's kind of one of those things where we also don't get the recognition a lot of times being from the South. You know, we had so much, it took us so long to really break through, you know, in the 90s and shit like that, to where, you know, and still weren't really getting respect. And then it's like to see people go back and borrow from the culture and then not really give due, you know, shout out respect.
They take off with it. And then it's like, oh shit, like that's just what it is. It's like, it's really, I don't see like the South getting this just due. But like we make it, we kick the door in, and it's like, you know, we have our staple, like our sound, like, you know, the trap shit and all that, like the South music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's just not the same for us.
Yeah, and South kind of runs music. It really, I mean, just based off influence, and then Atlanta, you know, I mean, most of the most popular artists right now are out of Atlanta. So, I mean, you see a lot of that swag type triplet shit that really originated down here, really kind of, like you said, taking off. And again, the biggest prime example I could think of recently was like ASAP. You know, they borrowed the Houston kind of swing and bang shit. And did a lot of the chopping up samples, and then people kind of see it as like ASAP sound. And I'm like, nah, hold up, that's Houston shit.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna say mainstream is mixed. Like that sounds all mixed and mainstream. Like Drake, you said all that, but trap music, you know where it's coming from. If it's trap music from Texas, Zero, all them niggas, you know where it's from. If it's Atlanta,
the real shit,
you know where it is. If it's Chicago drill, you know what it is. If it's Mozzie, West Coast, Joe Moses, you know who it is. If it's from Florida, you know, Kodak, them niggas out there, you know what it is. So I think the street shit sounds where regional. You know exactly where it is. I think it's not till you get to the mainstream level, that's when the shit starts mixing.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to play devil's advocate with you though, because I get you on that. Now, here's my thing though. So, like, let's say you start thinking about some of these artists. What's the young Florida boy, dog? That tried to do his hair like Kodak.
Black 9.
Nah, nigga be singing.
No,
Quando Rondo. Quando Rondo.
Yeah.
So yeah, he sounds like a Southern artist, but he does a lot of the singing shit with kind of the auto tune. So when you really think about it.
But T-Pain did it first, and where's T-Pain from?
But was that a Southern thing though? Because then I could say the auto tune thing was going on, maybe not necessarily in hip hop, but that was borrowed from pop, you know. Yeah. And then it's like that goes into hip hop. Quando Rondo, he sounds Southern, but he kind of does the auto tune, kind of soulful rap, so it does sound South, but he's also borrowed. And then even like drill shit, where like you have Brooklyn drill now, you have Chicago drill, all that shit kind of comes from UK rap too, where a lot of times it's weird because people hate UK artists, like, well, not hate, but like people here in the States really don't like to hear like niggas
rap. UK drill sound ugly as hell.
You got to think about it. To like Dosha's point, niggas got to feel some type of way in the UK, because it's like, damn, y'all done took the sound, ran with it. Y'all don't want to hear us spit like that.
Beats and everything.
But now, shit, them niggas is going off.
And now it's New York sound, like you said.
Yeah, New York stole that shit. Dang, so it's like, straight up said,
See, I feel that, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I think T-Pain started it. He's from that region, so. But I mean, there's always gonna be a few select that are just gonna be completely different from some area. But for the most part, when you just, like I said, it's that street shit. You know Gucci, you know where that's from.
For sure.
I mean, there's really no other. I mean, St. Louis, there's probably somebody there, but I don't know the fuck they sound like. Like
Nelly.
Midwest. I think Immortal Technique. That's probably the only one that I really know from there. But
I feel like there's somebody new from St. Louis that's like popping right now.
I know. They're not popping enough. They're not popping enough because the nigga had
it on Wild and Out. That's him, man. That's him, man. Hallow on Wild and Out.
But nah, man. I mean, just to even just kind of, add on to it, I guess. I do like the aspect of, like, artists not feeling like they got to be boxed in, where they can kind of, just because, okay, maybe I'm from the South, but I do like to sing, or I do like to kind of make some shit that sound like Roddy Ricch. I still do hate that it is harder for Texas artists, to your point earlier, to kind of run with those different sounds, because a lot of times, accents carry over too. So, you can hear that Southern drawl, the Southern accent in a lot of people, and it just don't really work as well as somebody else that's from one of these other regions. So now I can agree. Everybody made good points on that. I do kind of miss the days though, man, where you could, really definitively tell. But again, music's moving forward.
I think I miss it too, because like you waited for two, like now the sounds are mixed, but you waited for two separate artists to jump on a track together to hear how it would blend, together. Like J. Cole and Kendrick, for instance. Yeah, they from West Coast and East Coast, but hearing their two different sounds, you waited for that. But now everybody's like trying to emulate the other person and shit.
Right. Yeah. Lil TJ and Roddy Ricch, two way different coasts, but they kind of have the same melodies and shit like that.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. And, as we always do each week, we have 3 albums to kind of just give a quick little rundown review, give our, number score out of 10. Just kind of, how we are vibing with it. This week, we got a good 3. We have a couple East Coast guys in there, man. We got Flatbush Zombies, Now More Than Ever. We got that Sleepy Hallow. I think that was Sleepy for President. And we got Run the Jewels 4, RTJ 4. So, man, let's go ahead and start with the 2 Flatbush dudes. Let's go Flatbush Zombies first, man. It was kind of a little short EP. Kennawayne, man, I know you fuck with Flatbush Zombies, man. Let's start with you, bro, and we'll take it from there.
Man, when I heard that coming out with one, I was excited, man. But I turned that shit on, and when Herb came on, I knew this shit was gonna be fire. Like, I don't even smoke, and this shit had me wanting to go smoke. I Am Legend, Blessings, and When I Gone had that little different feel. I won't say it's their best album. I really did fuck with Escape from New York with Joey Badass way more than this one. But that's not saying it's a bad album. I'll definitely give it 8 out of 10. It's got replay value. Now it's an EP, so it's short. You're going to listen to it real quick. Even Quicksand, Dirty Elevator Music. I will say this. Flatbush Zombies got their own little unique sound, which I fuck with. Unique style to it. Now, I don't fuck with the style, how they dress and shit. They dress out of like the 70s and shit. That shit a little wild for me. But, bro, they're really slept on, man. Like, they got bars. And they're not big mainstream that most people know, but they're getting out there more and more. And I think they just need like that one honest, like a Drake or Jay-Z or somebody big just to kind of propel them forward. But definitely 8 out of 10 for me.
They've been at it for a long time too, man. I can remember listening to Flatbush as early as, for me personally, like 2012. So yeah, I mean, they might stay at this level. This might be kind of where they're peaking, but we'll see. Man, Henny, man, what'd you feel about the album, bro?
Not gonna lie, I did fuck with this little EP. Like when I way back in the day, first heard about some Flatbush Zombies, I was like, nigga, what type of rocker shit are you trying to get me to listen to? When I first heard that name, I was like, oh, nah. But
that name did bump up too.
Yeah, I listened to it. I was like, oh, these is niggas. I was like, okay, hold on. Let me get this one a little listen. Like, nigga, Dirty Elevator Music, that's my shit on this EP. that whole fire as fuck. Like overall, I mean, it's real quick. It's not like 20 minutes. Played that whole a couple times already. Like I fuck with this. It's not their best shit, like he said. I did fuck with the Joey Badass one shit more, but I'll give it a 7 though for me. Like it does have replay. Like these songs I already downloaded all of them. Like I know I'm gonna listen to them again. Like all of them hoes are smooth for me. Third was another one. Y'all know me. I ain't gonna go into detail on that. So yeah, I fuck with it though.
Yeah, bet, man. Doja, man, let us know what you feel about that Flatbush, man.
Okay, so like Flatbush Zombies never really been my cup of tea. I do fuck with their I fuck with their lyrics and like their style, not like you said, not like the way they dress, but like they're different.
Yeah, they're dressing something else.
That's Halloween type shit.
They different. When I listen to the new shit, like it came in nice, like the urban shit. Like I fucked with the herb, and then it just kind of lost me from there. It was like I see where they're going, but it wasn't just anything that like just really spoke to me. Yeah, it just stuck out at the moment. Besides herb, it was just something about that one out of all the other ones. There was another one on there. Let me pull up this track list. It was another one on there. But my personal opinion, I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for this one. It was 6 for every track there was.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, I kind of share the same sentiments as him, man. I like Flatbush Zombies, but I kind of have to really. It depends on the album for me because sometimes I like one more than the other. Their sound kind of differs to me a little bit between different projects. This one wasn't for me though. Like you said, it was cool. The bars were there and shit like that. I didn't really get grabbed by any of the tracks. I'm also going 6 out of 10. Now with that being said, I know it was an EP, so this might be leading up to something maybe I will fuck with. I'll still be tuned in, to see what they release going forward. But yeah, this one wasn't it for me, dog.
Hey, it's okay. Shit, last week you was mad because I didn't really fuck with Alfredo, but hey, we ain't never gonna have the same cup of tea.
Yeah,
true. Alfredo ain't that great,
Oh,
got another one.
It ain't that great. I will eat it.
The food though, yeah, I
will eat it.
Damn. I at least gave it an 8 though. This nigga said.
I forgot what Hey, did we rate the fucking Rich Homie shit?
Nah, we didn't. We said we weren't gonna rate the old shit no more, just because that's timeless already.
Yeah, it's funny. On the Now More Than Ever, the one song that we all said we fucked with is the only song that has a star. So that's something to point out there.
Star.
Maybe everybody else feels the same way as well. Maybe that just has the most play value.
Are you looking at like Apple Music?
Yeah, I'm on my Apple Music right now.
Oh, that's why. I was like,
I'm looking at that.
Yeah, I was on Spotify.
Yeah, we're on Spotify. I was like,
on my Apple, that's the only one that has a star on the playlist. So like that, I'm
assuming. The only thing I will say that's cool about Apple Music is that you can mix in your own music with the fucking stream shit. So that's the only thing I like about music. But man, up next we got another Flatbush dude, man, or Flatbush native, I should say. Young rapper that goes by the name of Sleepy Hallow, man. It looks like that album was Sleepy for President? That was a pretty short album. It was 12 tracks, but it was only about 27 minutes long. So I was kind of surprised just by seeing the length. That's about the perfect kind of, for me, I like around 10 to 15.
Yeah.
But then 27 minutes, a little bit short, because we've seen albums that shit are under, or a little under 10 tracks that run that long. But either way, man. Let's go ahead and start out with Doja, man. What'd you think of that Sleepy Hallow joint, bro?
Sleepy Hallow, I fucked with it. I fucked with it more than, I fucked with the actual Flatbush Zombies EP. Like you said, all the songs were pretty short. He had a couple that came in slapping, and, I was like, that might find its way being played a couple more times. I'm still gonna have to go with a 6 for this one, because after all the the short songs, it was such a quick tape. I'm supposed to be wanting more after that, and I just didn't want more afterwards. It was like, all right, it's done. That's cool. So that's how I feel about that. I'm gonna still give that one a 6.
Didn't really leave you one more.
27 minutes is short for to go through a whole tape, and then it's like I should want to play it back or something. Like it was just, I was ready to move on.
I thought that's why you were making the song so short, so I would run it back. But yeah,
exactly. you know. But there were a couple, but like overall for a whole project, like.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. Henny, man, what'd you feel about that? How'd you feel about that goddamn? I almost called the nigga Flatbush. How'd you feel about that, bro?
So I'm gonna go ahead and say it was 27 minutes and 59 seconds. So I'm gonna give him the 28 minutes. 28. I'm trying to play on. I'm gonna give him the 28 minutes.
All right, round it.
But
nigga round it up.
Give him the extra second. But it was a few tracks. Of course, I fuck with the Deep End freestyle. That actually made my playlist.
Hey, okay, me too.
Stupid fire. So, of course, I gotta bring in the Ratchet track again. Betty Boop. Fuck with that hoe. Fuck with that hoe, heavy. A couple others went hard. Just like DJ was saying, it wasn't nothing like for it to be so short. It wasn't nothing for you to be like, oh yeah, let me just put all this shit in so I can run it back later. I'm going to give it a 7 just because it did go through smooth, though. It was a few bangers, but nothing else, like, really stuck out. But it wasn't nothing that was, like, sorry as hell that was, like, really trash to it. Like, it did ride through pretty good as far as, like, production. It was pretty nice on that bitch, so I'll give it a 7 overall.
I like the 6 a.m. in NY. That was pretty.
Oh, yeah.
That was nice.
That was clean, yeah.
Wasn't that the title of Drake's shit too? 6 a.m. or was it 6 p.m. in NY or some shit?
Nah, he was saying I think he was 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
No, he had a 6 p.m.
No.
Yeah, 6 p.m. in New York.
Latest one.
6 p.m. Okay.
6 p.m. in New York on that. It was on that fucking. If you're reading this, it's too late.
Oh, okay.
But he spelled it out in New York instead of NY. So yeah, okay, same little idea there. Cool.
Yeah, same shit.
So what'd you give it, Ken?
I gave it a 7.
Okay, man. Kennawayne, you sound like you got something to say about this album, bro. Huh?
He said, woo.
Gave us the Ric Flair woo.
We all know that I put the Deep End freestyle on one of my playlists before this drop. So I opened this bitch and I was kind of excited about it.
Same.
I don't fuck with it, man. I will say that the freestyles, Anxiety and Deep End, were the best tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't Panic was really dope. I fucked with that one. I wanted to give it a 3. But the tracks I fucked with, I really fucked with.
He's back to his old ways, folks.
So I would have gave it a 5. So I met the nigga in the middle and gave him a 4. I think he has potential. I really do. It's like the tracks he was on it. But like DJ said, I played it. I didn't want to play it back. I just want to play those tracks. And I played it again to try to maybe absorb something.
To force yourself.
Yeah.
You need more features.
I played it once and I was like, okay. And then I waited till another time just to have a different feeling. Like, maybe I didn't fuck with it then and there. And then I played it again, and I had the same feeling. So I give him a 4 out of 10. There's some replay value on tracks, but as the album, wasn't very good. So, but I think, he had the same nigga on it pretty much every track. So
yes, I ain't gonna lie. Cause when I played it the first time, I was high, and I was like, damn, this one might get a 9.
You talking about Chef G?
And then yes,
yeah.
And then I played it.
They like a little duo.
And then I played it regular, and I was like,
they like a little duo.
Completely. I was like, hold on.
So that's how he got a 7. It was a 9 at first. Sober, it was a 5. He got a 7.
Exactly.
Because that high will have you sometimes. Boy, the high might have you jigging too much to it.
That's how I came with my number 2. 3,
that was
5,
at a 9 when I was in the
4.
car. I was like, it's all flames. Then I went back.
That boy Henny was zooted.
I was sitting down. I said, oh no, this was like a 5. I was like,
he would have came on this. Good thing you didn't come straight up here with no bullshit. It had to calm down and listen to that whole unhigh one time.
Nah, I make sure I always listen to it regular.
Because I will have you fucking saying this whole a straight 10.
Oh, 10 out of, I ain't gave out no 10 yet. That's why.
This nigga a legend. I gave out my first 10 last week. Man, I kind of echo.
I'm the only one that gave out a 1. Shit.
Well, nigga, but that's
yeah.
That was disrespectful.
My 10 is coming soon.
I'm gonna say this.
Give him a 10 soon.
I fuck with the young boy, man. He still has room to grow. You could tell we kind of caught him in one of those weird phases where like he's still growing as an artist.
Yeah.
And that, there's something to be said there, but at the same time, I can still kind of hold that against him. I can still hold it against him though, because I'm a consumer. I get that you're kind of growing, and I do want to see where he takes it. I like a couple of his flows. That Anxiety freestyle was nice. The Deep End freestyle, that shit gave me super UK vibes. That shit was nice. All in all, though, he's just not quite as polished as I want him to be. I give it a 6.5. Y'all know I like the halves. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll be able to run it back, because there are tracks that I could probably grab to a playlist, but there's just so much good music out there. I can't spend 28 minutes fucking with you, dog. Like, not a whole 28. Not with this much music.
Time, nigga.
Because have y'all just looked at y'all shit? Have y'all just looked at y'all shit sometimes and y'all be like, nigga, I've forgotten all the albums that came out this year, and you're like trying to run back shit and try to look at what you done liked and favorite. Like, there's just no way I can run this shit back.
My Spotify library looks stupid right now. That's why I was like, It downloaded all of them off rip, and I was like, no, I gotta remove
folks, if y'all haven't noticed, folks,
I had to go back. I was like,
we've had at least 2 albums to review every single week that have come out that week. So I mean, it's telling you how much music output is really coming out. Like, we have shit to review every week, and we're not forcing it. Hey.
And the crazy thing is, sometimes we have to trim it down to 3.
Yeah.
It's been weeks we could have had 5 and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just too much. But man, I think personally the best album of the 3 that we're reviewing today, we got that Run the Jewels, RTJ4. That's the duo of LP and Killer Mike, man. For those of you who don't know, this is the 4th installment, man. Obviously, RTJ4. I've enjoyed almost every single installment. I'm gonna break tradition again. I'm gonna go first on this one, and then let everybody else get after it. I really fucked with this album. There were some, high and low moments. Definitely more high moments, I would say. Consistent with all their other projects, man. Killer Mike spitting, LP bringing what he does best with the production, and still has some substantial bars in there too. I would go ahead. I'd give it an 8 out of 10, man. I enjoyed it. It's different music I like, so I mean, you have that electro kind of rap influence with it. So I really, really vibed with it. I don't know how much it'll continue to crack the rotation, but there'll definitely be some songs, going up from here. But I really fucked with it again. That's an 8 out of 10 from me. Whoever wants to take it from there, go ahead.
I see you pointing yourself. Go ahead.
I was like, is it me? Man, I'm not gonna lie. I tried to fuck with this hoe, but I could not. And I ain't gonna lie. I was hoping Lorenzo gave that hoe a bad grade. I was like, damn, this nigga said a fucking 8.
That shit is funny.
I tried to run with this hoe because, Killer Mike out there supporting the Black Lives Matters and shit. He on the front.
And you ready to turn your back on him.
Nigga. The front line, nigga. I feel like that nigga was more worried about that than his damn album. And I was so hyped because I seen him promote that on the 85 South show. He was talking about the track. I was like, all right, that shit.
Okay, let me ask you something. Have you liked any of the RTJ albums?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, sometimes it ain't for some people. They just don't fuck with Run the Jewels. Like,
oh, no. I fuck with Killer Mike. That's why I was mad about it. This one didn't hit me the same. I don't know what it was. Like, the tracks on this hoe, I mean, I fuck with a few of them on here, like Out of Sight with 2 Chainz. That hoe was fire. Ooh La La I fuck with.
Yeah.
And then it felt like it dropped off for too long for me. And then I got back on it with the Pharrell shit when he was on that hoe on Just. That hoe was nice.
Oh, yeah,
but
that's a nice song.
It just wasn't, that hoe was just too inconsistent for me. Like, I only fucked with a few tracks like Heavy. Other tracks was like, like, I'm not going to go back and listen to. Like, they was spitting. I'm not going to lie. They was spitting on that hoe, but there's nothing that's going to make me like, oh, let me throw this on right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like for me, that hoe got a 4.
Okay.
That was surprising.
Damn.
I know.
Hey. All
Okay.
right.
Half of the 8, so we got an 8.
I'm a little bit shocked right there.
I'm kind of shocked too, but like I'm gonna have to like piggyback off what Kendrick said, and it was like I gave it a spin. It's like everything that you feel me, Killer Mike stand for and everything. Like you gotta love it and all that shit. Like I went into it like with that aspect, like just you feel me, pure love in my heart for Killer Mike. You feel me? It didn't really. The songs that Kendrick said.
Oh, you know how bad when that nigga said.
No, I'm saying the songs that you said were literally the songs that like I was thinking like, yeah, you feel me? These will be the ones that I do play again, and honestly, is it because of the features or like what? Like I don't know. It was just it didn't hit me, and I feel like I feel like it was just so much that the world needed right now from Killer Mike, and it just like didn't touch it the way that I was expecting it to touch it. I'm gonna have to go with a 6. I'm gonna keep it all even. You feel me? I might do a 6.5 just because of the pure love I have in my heart for Killer Mike. You feel me? Like you feel me? What he stand for, all that shit.
Hey, fact.
That's why I squeezed up to 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna go with a 7 because it's definitely better than the other ones the other albums. I'm retracting. I'm gonna go back with my 6.5. I'm gonna follow my heart. I'm going back on that 6.5.
Follow your heart, big dog.
Because it wasn't that much better than Sleepy Hollow. It's like you feel me. Like it has more of a better play value, I'm guessing, but it still left me with that same feeling. Like damn, like come on. And I just watched that 85 South show like literally the day before yesterday. And I was like, oh shit, Run the Jewels 4. Like, let me go listen to that hoe right now. Cause I remember y'all was like, that's the album. I'm like, let me go listen to this hoe. And I was in the mode because I just watched the Killer Mike interview, everything. I'm like, I'm gonna listen to
this. He was ready.
And like, yeah, it just didn't. I'm gonna have to go with that 6.5, bit dog.
Fair enough. You were fair in it, and you gave it probably a little bit higher rating than you might have even wanted to, just out of pure love.
Pure love.
That's respect. Respect. Kennawayne, man, what you gonna do, man? What you?
Okay,
Here we go.
Let's go. I fucked with it. I don't give a fuck, man. No, it came on. I think this is their the best Run the Jewels. I think it came out at the perfect time. I think they're the one person that could have released an album last week. You got the Black and the White, that's Unity, New York and the South, Killer Mike Atlanta. They bringing it together. But the tracks really, everybody knows I had Ooh La La before everything dropped in one of my playlists. The beat switch up on Holy Kalama Fuck, bro, that I fucked with the just switch up. Like, I was not ready for that, and it slapped for me. Walking in the Snow was a track that addressed so many issues, especially when he goes, and you so numb, you watch the cops choke out a man like me until my voice goes to the shriek to a whisper, I can't breathe. And you sit there in the house on the couch and watch it on TV. Most of you give Twitter's rant and call it a tragedy. Bro, when he said that shit, I ran that fucking track back. I was like, damn.
I wanted more of those tracks though.
Yes, that hit, and then the one with Pharrell, just
production on the shit was
my
nice.
Shit.
Like on the whole album, the production was nice.
Of course.
I almost wanted to give it a 9. There were some tracks I will say that I did skip over. Honestly, I really didn't like the Out of Sight with 2 Chainz. I felt like he felt out of place for me on that track. I really like Goonies versus E.T. I know Run the Jewels a little different, so I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Definitely replay value. There's a lot of songs I really do fuck with. But I think this is one of them albums is you can kind of split. You know, there's two 8s, and then there's a 4 and a 6.5, maybe 7, 6.
Somewhere. I'm gonna stick with that 6.5, man.
I think it really depends what you were expecting on this. I went into it with no expectations, and I really fucked with it. But I know the two below, y'all kind of watched the 85 South show, and y'all.
Yeah, I think I expected too much.
I think I expected too much too. My heart was just in everything that's going on. Like I just wanted him to touch on like I'm like, you feel me? He finna drop an album. Like I know like it's finna like I know like he finna be talking his shit on here.
And I've been waiting on one for a while.
Well,
too.
I think
I'm not gonna lie.
I think for me, I know that music takes a while. So I think the Walking in the Snow is the track he just released recently for this.
That one was nice.
I think all the other shit has been working.
It was already ready and everything.
Yes. And so that's kind of my take. But I've learned a long time ago not to just expect shit from Run the Jewels because of how different they are and how they try unique shit because they're blending completely different styles.
They're production heavy.
I think Walking in the Snow, I have to go through it again, but I think that would be the only track they recently did because they're not the type to just go record a track and just put the shit out.
Nah. Yeah, they be. Yeah,
so to expect a whole album, I wasn't expecting a whole album. I expected maybe 1 or 2 tracks. I think they only really touched on that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, but then you got to understand he's also doing other shit where he's actually going out and speaking. So you can't do too much in the studio and then go actually be proactive like he is. So it's really hard to hit him there. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather him be out and being proactive than a song.
For sure.
Oh, definitely. I just
to be
expect
real,
a little more
we still need that shit though. We still need that shit because it resonates in their ears a little bit different. Like when you can sit there and like just vibe to that shit and like really understand.
Yeah.
But like you said, like it was just the expectation factor, like going into it, and I didn't even think of that aspect. Like, damn, these tracks may have already been like everything happened so
months ago.
Fast. Yeah, everything happened so fast, and then like I don't know.
Like, do you scrap your album and try to put new shit in there to kind of fit the shit, or
and then rush it? And I just don't see Killer Mike the type of nigga to rush it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's like a Dolph or a Gucci, I can see them just put some shit out.
Yeah, they can slap some shit together for.
So after.
Oh, here we go.
This shit, I might bump it to that 7. You feel me? I might bump it to that 7. Fair enough.
I think it's one of them things where
I'm still at a 4.
The interesting thing here is like Kennawayne said, I didn't come into it with no expectation because I didn't really see no promo for it, and I hadn't been keeping up with RTJ. Neither did he. Y'all both saw 85 South, so I know how.
I seen hella promos.
You see some shit, and you be like, "Man, let's go," and then it just falls short. You're like, like it's just not. You know, it kind of got boosted, or if a friend tells you, "Dog, it's the best album I done heard this year."
This nigga got on ESPN and shit too, bro. Like I'm talking about, I seen hella promo, bro.
And I think that's what we got to remember these days, though. You know, the labels are behind the shit, and you know, whether you're coming from an indie or a big label, they're putting money out there into it. And they'll get you on ESPN, they'll get you on Fox Sports 1, regardless. Where kind of when we were coming up, really you only saw the biggest artists on shit like platforms like that, like Wayne or Eminem or somebody like that. You didn't just see anybody. You know, Pusha T could come out with an album and have it on Fox Sports 1. If the label's backing it, the label's backing it. You know, so the money's definitely there.